What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You're good? You hearing good? Nice. All right. Yeah. Live talk. Let's talk MMA. Let's talk kickboxing. Let's talk martial arts, combat sports, guys. Let's do it. I was just watching some Daredevil. It's getting crazy. Getting very crazy. No one in here yet. Let's just give it a little. Let's give it a little. All right, let's get to talking. The live talks. Walkie talkie. What's up? First viewer, let's talk some martial arts and combat sports. Name of the live stream, obviously, getting more specific. So let's get in the chat. What do you got to say? Anything? Bye. How we doing? Talking martial arts and combat sports. So let me know what your thoughts are. Any questions, any comments, any concerns. Now's the time. Sorry, I got a lot of screens in front of me at the moment. Multitasking, getting some work done. But let's talk martial arts and combat sports. Let's do it. Turn this a little bit. Actually, there we go. Much better. Bye again. Okay. All right. Interesting. Very interesting. How we doing? Talking martial arts and combat sports. Let me know your thoughts, comments, anything you want to chat about. Let's talk UFC, one championship, PFL. Got any local events? Who's fighting this weekend? Jack Della Maddalena and Carlo. Dude, I saw that. I was rewatching that knockout against Leon Edwards. That shit was crazy. He said, "Pow." And then this kid, Quillen, I think that's what you say. He's Canadian, I'm pretty sure. He's been on a streak too. Tim Elliott. I hear he's pretty good. I think I've seen that he's pretty good. Um, so let's see, 328. Is that the Strickland? Yeah, that's gonna be pretty good. Strickland versus Hamzat. That's crazy. He's a 37 fights. Hamzat 15 fights in the U. I mean, no, not just in the UFC. How? Let's look at that up real quick. Actually, Hamzat. Um, Hamzat's record. Okay. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of his 15 fights in the UFC. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9. Okay. And how many? About Strickland? Sean Strickland. Dude, I wish I could do a Strickland impression. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 out of 37 fights in the UFC. That's crazy. His first fight was a UFC 171. Oh my God. He's been with the UFC for 12 years. He's been fighting for 12 years now. Jesus Christ. No, my mistake. He hasn't been fighting for 12 years. He's been in the UFC for 12 years. He's been fighting. I mean, who knows how many amateur bouts that he's had, or even other professional, sports. But since 2008, sheesh, Strickland, you crazy. Hopefully, I mean, you know, I I don't know. I don't know what to expect of this. I don't like having expectations really of upcoming fights and stuff. So yeah. So they got 328, and then got a card on May 16th. Fight night card. And then we got another fight night the week after, May 30th. And another fight night, June 6th. Bilal. That's been might get to see that. And then the White House card, June 14th. And then fight night 279. Crazy. The White House card should be good. As a fight, let's forget about the political stuff. Dude, stop making it political. Yeah, I mean, they're making it political. We don't have to make it political, but because we're just, fans. I mean, not. I don't even want to get into talk about MMA fans. All right, more people, come on, get in here. How we doing? Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Oh, goodness, we're getting sleepy. Yes, sleepy. Live streaming at night. You gotta find better times of the day to stream so more people get engaged. Come on, viewers. Not gonna talk until someone joins the stream. Oh yeah, conversion. Duh. I should know better. So let's see. Probably just gonna go until 10:30 if I'm not gonna get much engagement. So. Come on. What else can I just randomly talk about? So if anyone watches this replay, they don't go all stupid and be like, "Well, what are you talking about? One championship." Let's see what's going on with one championship. They got that whole samurai thing going on right now. Just a new name for the event that they got going on. But actually, let's go on my phone real quick. Go to YouTube and see. Oh, I've been keeping up with this guy. He's pretty cool. Undefeated PFL fighter Alexia Brigande. Him and his friend Sim, I think is what he goes by. They're pretty funny.
I saw that with your thumb.
Eye poke.
Was it hard?
Risk it for the biscuit, you know. I used to watch One Championship all the time, like hella when I first started training, and like about a year or two into it, and then I just got burnt out from watching. I mean, I would watch it every Friday. It was nice having like watching live fights every Friday morning. And they were Muay Thai fights too. Majority of them were Muay Thai fights. Some of them were kickboxing. Some of them were MMA. But yeah, I just got burned out from watching it. I was like, because I would mainly just like watch it for entertainment, obviously. But I would also watch it to like learn and stuff. So, but I just, needed to, adjust my learning habits and whatnot and blah, 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 Ooh. Oh, yeah. Dude, Rod Tang is crazy. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the results of the fights tonight are. The fight, what was it? A super fight between Superlek and Superbon, and someone was just throwing I think it was Superbon throwing leg kicks the entire time. Oh, what's up? Talking martial arts and combat sports. What you got to say? Join the chat. I kind of want to watch that real quick. I was just talking about one championship. The Superbon versus Superlek fight, I think it was. Just so many leg kicks. Set up perfectly, too. It was insane. Ah, yes. No way. Oh, it was Rod Tang versus Superlek. It's really cool. Like, I mean, the sportsmanship is great when it comes to like this stuff. Although the corporate industrial aspect, some would argue, of just like, one championship UFC just isn't the best. And see these leg kicks. He said, pow, pow. Ooh. Ooh, God. What's up? Talking martial arts and combat sports. I'm currently rewatching the replay of Rod Tang versus Superlek just because I wanted to see these leg kicks. I mean, they're insane. Ooh. Yeah, setting up great, throwing the jabs, coming in. The sportsmanship is great, too. They're just laughing it off, being good sportsmanship, being good sports to one another. Superlek with the bleached hair too. My brother, he was like, "I'm gonna cut my hair and then bleach my tips." I'm like, "Bro, why you gotta do that? Why you gotta be like everyone else?" I'm a little sleepy. About 10 more minutes of this live stream. Probably. I'm not trying to go too long. I was watching Daredevil right before the stream started. And it was getting juicy. Dude, yeah. When did that happen? Dude, yeah, when did that? He got busted at the top of his head. That was crazy. Yeah, coach had to pause it, dude. Wild. If you haven't watched the Super Lek versus Rod Tang fight, highly recommend it. Just straight up pow. Muay Thai is crazy. That's why it's one of the best to train for striking. I mean, it just translates so well with, like, you know, just the way, like, the punches are thrown. Like, it's not just about sport, like, because it's been around for quite some time, and it was initially used as, you know, military combat. You know, how the ties stayed intact all these years, basically, in that region of Asia. And, like, the stories and the legends and the myths that come with, like, you know, where it all originated from, and, like, the story of, I forgot what the guy's name is, but, like, the first, I guess, Muay Thai fighter of some sort. He was put up against like, I need to go read. You can reread the story just on, like, the Wikipedia page of Muay Thai. Jesus, dude, Super Lex face is dripping. But basically, this king somewhere or whatever had his, like, top, like, combat, you know, people go against this Muay Thai guy, and this Muay Thai guy just tore them all apart. And I think it was with leg kicks. I think he just straight up just was kicking the shit out of everyone's legs, and that's how he became, like, you know, that's how, I guess, Muay Thai was born. Let me, I need to look that up real quick. Wait, yeah, let's watch the slice real quick, dude. Right here. Ooh. Right there. Oh my god, dude, that up, dude. Pause that real quick. History. Where is it? Yeah, okay, here it is. The popular folklore story of, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm just gonna say Thom, is widely celebrated in Thailand and around the world, and the character is referred to as the father of Muay Thai. Several scholars have critically examined the legend of Thom, suggesting it is mythological rather than historical. And I mean, it makes sense, you know, these are legends and whatnot. But it's a cool story because the scholars suggest that the story of Thom probably emerged in the 20th century, coinciding with efforts by Thai culture institutions to construct a cohesive national identity. During the during the post World War II era, figures like, I don't know how to pronounce that name, played a pivotal role in promoting Thai nationalism, often through the creation of uh, dissemination of cultural myths. The legend of Thom serves as a case study in invention of traditional. Okay, that's not it. I want to know the story. Where is it? Okay. Here it is. Okay. According to popular folklore story, in 1767, after the second fall of this whatever kingdom from the Burmese Siamese War, the invading Burmese troops rounded up thousands of Siamese citizens and brought them to Burma. They then organized a 7-day, 7-night religious festival in honor of Buddha's relic. I will get to that in a second. Reading about Muay Thai folklore. Blah 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 blah. Thai fighters were compared as fighter. Dom was selected to fight against the king's chosen champion, and the boxing ring was set up in front of the throne. Sounds a lot like the White House card. When the fight began, Tom charged out using punches, kicks, elbows, and knees to pummel his opponent until he collapsed. The king supposedly asked if Tom would fight 9 other Burmese uh, champions to prove himself. He agreed and fought one after the other with no rest periods. His last opponent was a great kickboxing teacher from some state, which he defeated with kicks. Wild. Hey, what's up, James? Finally caught you live with surfing YouTube. So nice, nice. Heck yeah, glad you could make it. I'm honestly not going to be here on live much longer, but I'm glad you were able to catch it. Just talking martial arts and whatnot. Shout out to James. Actually, he holds a brown belt in judo. We talked about that for a little in our table talks session last time, and next time, obviously have you on. Have to, tell me more stories about that. So, right now I'm just reading about Muay Thai folklore. I thought I heard something. Let me see this real quick. Yeah, I mean, just sitting here chatting. Do you guys count in Japanese? I can still count. No, we don't. There's not really much Japanese like, how would I explain it? Like the not the vibe or the culture. There's a specific like way to explain it that I'm trying to look for, but no, we don't use the Japanese terms. Funny enough, one of our striking coaches, he's a black belt in karate, and he at one point we would do like little like karate, like half-hour karate sessions in between each class. He would like teach me a few things, and he ended up at one point he taught me how to count to 10 in Japanese, but he's also Russian, and I couldn't really understand. Like, he was talking really fast and aggressively. I'm like, dude, slow down. I can't keep up. But yeah. Yeah, karate's I mean, at the end of the day, really striking and grappling, the more you do whichever, if you do both or, whatever, you're just bound to become like you, because like they just merge over time. It's like it becomes like a hybrid thing. Like, one just doesn't like, you know I mean, obviously, if you want to become a champion, like if you, it depends on your goals, obviously. No, obviously, no, people are, gonna do what they want, and there's no, no one's holding a gun to anyone to do this or do that when it comes to, their desires and passions in martial arts and combat sports. But yeah, like martial arts trains the mind, body, and spirit. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just a crazy phenomenon to think about, because it's the oldest thing I think humanity has, is the instinct to defend, um not just the instinct to defend, but also the, I don't want to call it the instinct, but the reaction to emotion, um and either getting excited or getting scared, um but it's not, it's not like any other, combat sports, arguably has been around for a very long time as well. um I mean, yeah, like, put discipline, it's definitely, it's arguably the hardest thing, to do, when you put strain on your body. It put, like, you constantly do something like that, everything else in life, it should be easier, obviously, when it comes to, like, very specific things one goes through in their life, it's, that's like, up for debate and whatnot in regards to, what is hard and whatnot. But really, like when you do something consistent, like rigorous workouts, martial arts, getting beat up, it definitely does make life easier, especially afterwards when the chemicals in your brain start to flutter you, and after, like, once you've like rested after a good training session, that's one of the best feelings. I'll be driving home and I'm like, yes. Sorry, I'm getting texts. 10:32. We'll go on for a little longer, honestly. I was just in the middle of, I mean, I wasn't in the middle, but right before the I started the stream, I was watching Daredevil. It's getting juicy. It's getting crazy. I think we did. I don't know if we've talked about Marvel at all, but I love Marvel. I forgot if we did. I'm sorry. So much has been going on in my life, and I typically have intentions to rewatch my Table Talks episodes just so I can retain all that information. Because the way I learn things is just I think I mentioned this. I have to do things over and over again in order for it to be in the forefront of my cognition. Like whenever I read books, especially, or if I need to study for something, like just a sentence, like I read it over and over again until like I can say it by like heart, memorized. That's this thing. It's memory. When you memorize something. It's like when it comes, and that's a totally other topic too we can get on. I don't mean to rant about random things that aren't martial arts and combat sports, but when it comes to your memory and memorizing stuff, it's an interesting thing. A human, when it comes to knowing things. And he said, wait till you're my age. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm already there sometimes. um but it's just like, memory. It's not just like, experiences you have in your life and like the past, and you know talking about things that happened before, like, oh, remember this, or like memory, like think, like it's we are computers in a sense, like not like biological computers, like we are running on whatever, but also like we have like you know the aspects of ourselves that act, that like can be in an analogy compared to like the RAM in a computer, or like a hard drive and stuff like that. Like it's just it's funny because majority of my life has been like I've been living with this habit of treating my experience in this life, treating myself experiencing this life as a computer, like taking things in. And I was talking to I met up with a professor at UC the other day. Hopefully, I'm going to have him on Table Talks here soon. But we were just talking about like one of the first things. Somehow the conversation got to the point, and we were just talking. I told him, I was like, yeah, one thing I fear is like waking up tomorrow, or like waking up whenever, um and not being who I am, who I was when I like went to bed or whatever, essentially like deteriorating mentally. And that's just something that the day that comes, I just hope the best for myself and everyone around me, but I try to do everything I can to make sure I don't mentally deteriorate. With that being said, hello other viewers. Martial arts and combat sports conversations. Just talking to James in the live chat. Glad to see he's here. Was just rewatching One Championships, Superlek versus Rod Tang. Brutal fight. Muay Thai fight. It was just also reading about Muay Thai folklore, about this guy. I don't know how to pronounce the first two names. I just see the last name. It's spelled Tom in English, and I think it's pronounced Tom. um, but yeah, I for those who don't know, I got into striking first back in November of 2022. I've been training Muay Thai since then, and really the only reason why I started striking first is because um, um, I wear an insulin pump, so I can't really like just wrestle or grapple whenever I want. Not I don't want to say not whenever I want, but it took me a while to develop a plan, just get comfortable essentially with the idea of unhooking my insulin pump and getting out there and rolling around, still having like the infusion set on me, but the pump itself obviously isn't connected. But it's been going great ever since. I mean, I started grappling, officially grappling, New Year's of 2024. Um, and it's been great. I mean, and now I teach kids. It's awesome. Um, but I definitely like, because when it comes to self-defense specifically, um, and I've been, doing my best to stay consistent with writing this, essay on self-defense. Obviously instinctively humans are just prone to wanting to, strike, use your hands. There's this link between our heads and our hands that is greater than any sort of, mind body connection that we have. I mean, we use our hands to, pick everything up. We use our hands to cradle our newborns. We use our hands to, um do everything essentially in order to like, I mean, I don't know anyone who is living a life without hands. I would hate to be that person. But really, what name me something, or I just don't see someone living a functional life without hands. It's cool your sensei to the littles. I bet they love you. You will be a great dad. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean they all seem to really like me. So I essentially am like, I have to be like the bad cop often, calling them out whenever they're being bad. Um, just uh nothing wrong with that. That's how I've always been when I was a camp counselor growing up, and just dealing with kids in general. Can't just be a pushover and let them think they could do whatever. It's recommended that you instill, not instill, but you know the way you go about being, uh you know um teaching kids and whatnot, being around them, not being too nice, obviously, uh, having them feel a little bit of fear whenever they are being bad, so they know, like, oh, like, I'm acting up, the authority is making me feel scared for what I did. So but there is ways to go about it without them feeling initial, like, because there's a fine, there's a gray area, obviously, with you know obviously not being too subtle and nice, and obviously not being completely irrational and you know just unloading on them. Like, there is, and obviously each kid is different. You can't just be aggressive with the 9-year-old in class the same way you are, like, one is when the 5-year-old messes up. There's very big difference. um and it's the greatest learning experience I think anyone can go through. I'm still best friends with one of my senseis. Her and I have kept in touch all these years. Love her show. She owns a Tai Chi practice in us. Yeah, that's awesome. Heck yeah. I would actually, before I started consistently training, where I'm at now, not that I went anywhere else, but for a little while I was following this guy on YouTube, who is a Tai Chi master, and I would just learn basic stuff from him, and I would do the what's this one called? I forgot, but it was good maneuver. It was kind of like yoga, and like uh, you know um, definitely felt like he definitely showed it in practical sense to how, like, I I want. I'm now that you bring that up, I'm gonna let me look him up real quick. He's an American guy, blonde guy. Where is he? It's been a while. It's been a couple years. I mean, I don't know. I can, just tell by the algorithm. He probably hasn't been posting in a while. There he is. Kung Fu and Tai Chi with Jake Mace. Yeah, I used to keep up with this guy often, and I just remember like following along in his mainly in his beginner videos, because his advanced videos would involve him like doing a lot of split stuff, and I'm like, I can't even do the normal splits. But his beginner videos were definitely very, very good. And yeah, he hasn't posted in 6 years, so yeah. Oh, that's a blast from the past, honestly. I remember when I just was doing it in my basement, thinking I was like, just being all like centered and whatnot, and like learning like, a martial art essentially. But I mean, I knew I wasn't like, getting any like real world practical, combat sports like experience. Obviously, I was, doing it to get a, feel a sense of, something, like kind of like dipping my toe into what could be. Um, but yeah, was talking UFC earlier too. We got a lot of fight nights coming up. UFC 328's coming up. Sean Strickland versus Hamzat Chimaev. Honestly, I mean, people, the MMA fans, dude. I mean, I only watch it because I train. I don't watch it because I'm a fan, really. Um, I watch it because there's things to learn, and it'd be ridiculous not to watch. I mean, you know, watching it in my spare time versus watching it when I need to like buckle down for something. It's like watch like football players watching tape or whatever, but um, but it is nice, having something, because I'm not a sports person. Um, I'll watch sports, if they're on, but I it's nice having something. Well, I don't even have Paramount, so it's not like I can watch this stuff. But I never got the chance to like bootleg any, like watching any of the bootlegs or bootlegging the streaming. I can't talk. I like the animal. Hamza, yeah. The what do they call him? The wolf. Um, he's insane. He's very just energetic, and just has, because like there's plenty of people way bigger than him, and that could probably take him down. But he's just something else. Like he is like, it's like cortisol is like rushing through his body at all times. I mean, and that's like I don't want to say what I fear about this fight against Sean Strickland, but because like Sean Strickland only knows his jabs and his teeps, just, and I mean he can pull out grappling whenever he needs to. Obviously, it's not like he doesn't know how to grapple, but he's just defaulting to like his just finding his range, and throwing that jab a lot, just striking. And but then you have anime makes good music videos too. Send the link. um yeah. Oh my god. Talking MMA. No, I'm just talking martial arts and combat sports. We can. My thoughts on what I mean. People, MMA is just nothing more than a set of rules. Mixing striking and grappling with some exceptions. Um, and it really just because like I said, just going back to just being like a master striker or a master grappler, like you're gonna need to know many disciplines, not just getting good at just jujitsu or judo or wrestling or boxing or kickboxing or Muay Thai or any of the other ones like taekwondo, karate, any other martial art. You know, it just depends on where you want to go. Like do you want to be like a champion in a specific sport and only focus on that sport? That's one way, but other people, you know, not everyone gets that opportunity, obviously. Um, I am curious because so I grew up skateboarding, and um, I definitely can say that there are more unknown skateboarders out there that are basically on a professional level than there are, known professional skateboarders. I'm curious if there are more. I mean, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are way more people who are, martial artists that um, are at a professional level and beyond. Um, that there are way more of them than there are actual professionals that we know of in like the organizations and stuff. I also think it's ridiculous that every organization calls like the champion like the world champion. Like, what if I don't know? Just sometimes I mean, and yeah, going back to the whole conversation of like these organizations and just how big they are and how kind of like out of touch they are with like the tradition and the culture of many martial arts, because they just it's kind of like one can say that they you know what's the word I'm looking for? Like they're not sticking. They like forgot where they came from, didn't stick to their roots, so on and so forth. I mean, I guess that comes with like whenever you just start making a crap load of money and got to start pleasing more people around you that don't share the same sort of like values and stuff as you. Um, but yeah, I mean, because I keep up with this individual. Her name's Sylvie. She's an American who lives in Thailand and has been training Muay Thai for, I think, some like almost 2 decades now, has like over 250 fights under her belt. And she's always going on about just like, how different it is, obviously being at like the local level or, I'm not sure how many other like national, organizations there are, like obviously within Thailand and whatnot. Um, but yeah, the dynamic between more locally arranged fights that stick to their stick to the traditions and whatnot, versus like the big organizations like One Championship, UFC, PFL that have to put on like a spectacle and have to please their customers. So yeah, but I am gonna get off now. About 50 minutes of chatting. So, James, thank you for joining in. Everyone else who joined in that did not contribute to the chat, no worries. Thank you all, and we will catch you next time. Peace out.